It's my third year at DevOpsDays Raleigh. Woo, woo! You know what? I'll be honest. I'm trying to collect that last card too, so I hope I'm here next year as well. Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about GitOpsing the network because we have modern platforms that we have to support for Kubernetes, and I have to keep time here. My name is Marino Wijay. I am a solutions architect / engineer at Commodore. We focus on Kubernetes reliability and engineering and ops. As well, if you are interested in following me for networking content, follow my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter. I don't know how much time I have. Okay, all right. So the inconvenient truth is that we have all these different kinds of workloads that we'd like to make and we'd like to operate and we'd like to make data move around, except it's not easy to make data move around. Packets are hard. So we have to decide, how do we best do this? So you have a few ways. You could decide that you want to build a platform, or you could become a platform engineer where you end up eventually buying a platform. And the reason why you end up buying a platform is you build so much technical debt that it just makes sense to buy a platform. So I'm sorry, but why so serious? The reality is that platform engineering is not easy. It is not something that you could just simply pick up and go. You actually have to sit there and think about it long term, and you have to decide what is the right platform to buy. And I can't tell you the answer to that, unfortunately. So let's talk about network platform engineering for a second, because network engineers only care about three things: how packets move, how to configure this thing, and where do all these tools exist. And so we want to focus on Envoy, Dapr, and Cilium. What does that mean for the network engineer? I don't know what my next slide is, but we're not going to be creating network namespaces manually, because who wants to sit there and go IPNetNS and create your net namespace for every single service that you have in your environment or in your workload? So let's move away from doing manual things and let's move to automation. Next slide. Okay, we have an enterprise wrapper that network engineers care about. We don't care about directly interacting with open source software. Why? Because it's too complex, it changes all the damn time, so give us that enterprise API. But oh wait, come on, let's go. We have a dependency problem here, because that one single enterprise wrapper could be that one piece that breaks. And so we have to think about a different model. Next slide, please. There we go. Okay. So this is the model we have to think about: a network stack that breaks everything down into configurational files, which is YAML. I love YAML. Everyone should love YAML, right? Right? Exactly. YAML all the way, and all the things. Okay. But the reality is you can't just do everything with YAML, so I have GitOps to sell you. It is not going to be, just anything. It's going to be one of two, either Flux or Argo, or next slide, please. Come on. Why is this taking? Argo CD intensifies. That's what I was waiting for. And the reason I picked Argo is because it's been widely used, and that's nothing against Flux. There's just a lot more tooling and examples out there that I could just jump in right into Argo and make things work for the network. Now, this is network platform engineering. So we want to be able to not become a developer, but if you are interested, go check out that QR code very quickly, because you only have 5 seconds left, and you will understand how we can network platform engineer things with GitOps using something called Container Craft. And we're doing this through GitHub Codespaces. I bring this up because it's not only about that, we also have to think about everything before we get to software. What about the hardware that we have to power on with our friend Pixie, the magic packet that powers on our devices and ensures that it's all configured? So with Pixie, we make things work, and then everything else flows nicely. So the real network stack consists of something that you choose, whether it's public or private, whether you're going to do cloud, whether you're going to choose ARM or x86 and influence this with Pixie, and then you're going to layer in all kinds of software that you want on top. But you want flexibility, because we don't want this model anymore. We don't want the regular TCP/IP model or the OSI model, because it's not scalable. It doesn't fit our needs. So we want the network of tomorrow. 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 Come on. Tomorrow. Yes. That's the network that we want. Actually, let's be real. I don't know if we're ever going to have this kind of design living out there in the real world. But the actual network model that I care about, that we will probably start to think about for the next year or two, is the combination of Argo, Cilium, Kubernetes, and Dapr. Why? Because guess what? We can't all figure it out ourselves, so we have to use a little bit of that Olama magic behind the scenes. But here's the other problem. Do you trust AI? So there's a lot of spicy takes that I'm going to post later on YouTube. Some of them were about AI. I have a lot of more thoughts about network platform engineering, GitOps, and using Argo CD. So if you are interested to know more, or if you want to chat more, I will be hanging out somewhere there for the next hour before I have to catch my flight. Thank you, everyone, for my lightning talk and attending. And I want to thank the DevOps Days Raleigh organizers for putting up a great show. So thank you all.